to episode 27 of the Salapaloosa Knits videocast. My name is Elizabeth and you may also know me as Salapaloosa Knits. That's what my Instagram handle is, and that is definitely where I'm most active. I'm coming to you from the beautiful city of Bergen, which is located in the western part of Norway. And if you want to get in touch with me, I am Salapaloosa Knits on Instagram, Salapaloosa on Ravelry. If you have any questions, you can pop me an email at salapaloosanknits@gmail.com. And yeah, we have a Salapaloosa Knits Ravelry group on Ravelry. So if you want to join in the fun, please do. I am wearing my Tegna today. I've been wanting to make another one actually. I know I talked a while back, I think it was on the podcast, it might be on Instagram. I think I talked about this on the podcast, wanting to do another Tegna with a little bit of fluff in it, some mohair or maybe some alpaca. Speaking of fluff, check out Ellie of Skinder Knits. She has a beautiful podcast and she just released a gorgeous new sweater called Fluff and it's so pretty. Make sure you check it out. Yeah, lost my train of thought for a second, but yeah, I've been wanting to cast on another Tegna. I'm not entirely happy with this one, although it's nothing major. I do wear it a lot. It's just I would maybe tighten up the gauge a little bit. I feel like yeah, I feel like it's just a tiny little bit looser than I would have liked. What else? Yeah, just adding some mohair and some fluff. I think that's most of it really. Maybe elongated the neckline a little bit because I like the roll. I just would have liked a little bit more of it. Just little tweaks, but I can stand up so you can see it properly. Here it is. I elongated it a little bit. It's not as cropped as the design states, and I also did some decreases in the sides to make it a little bit more fitted, and yeah, I elongated the sleeves a little bit. Yeah, that's basically it. But overall I'm happy with it. I think I would be even happier if I did it again. You know, you live and you learn. I am having some coffee today, and oh, that was the first sip of the day. It was lovely. It's about noon. It's March 4th. It's a Monday, and it's been a few weeks since the last episode, which always seemed to happen to me. I have this very clear intent on putting an episode out once a week or every 2 weeks, but somehow it just doesn't seem to work for me at the moment. I think it's primarily because I work a lot of night shifts and that really messes up your entire week, and it's not really good recording before a night shift because I'm tired and I need to prepare for work and things like that, and also I'm sleeping to, you know, prepare for the night, and after a night shift I have to sleep because I've been up for maybe 25 hours and I'm dead tired. So then it's dark, and when I get up it's dark out or almost, then it's too late to podcast. So yeah, that's what happens. Life happens. I'm trying to maybe make the episodes shorter, and that would make it easier for me to record more often, but hey, life happens. It's just the way it is. I will try to record as often as I can, but you know, yeah, life gets in the way. Hopefully I will get an episode out next week. I don't have a lot of messed up shifts next week, so that will probably be good. And also we're here now, so let's focus on that. No more negatives. It's all good, it's all positive. Good vibes to everyone. First of all, let's just jump into it. There's no, if I'm trying to keep the episodes a little shorter, there's no point in me blabbering on for 10 minutes before we even get into the knitting, so yeah, I'll work on that. So, my pattern Pleading Love socks will be out this week. It is Monday the 4th today, and I will release the pattern on Friday the 8th of March. And if you haven't seen them before, or if you just would like me to show you again, don't mind if I do. Here they are. These are the Pleading Love socks. This is the pattern designed by me, and I am very pleased with these. So the my socks are knit up out of this base, gorgeous base colour. It's almost like a really dark reddish plum. It is called Tante Sofie, and it is by a wonderful Norwegian yarn dyer that I absolutely love, called Strikkeline. I will link to her shop in the show notes, which can be found in the down bar. And yeah, she's also an incredibly nice and lovely person, so feel free to check out her shop. And the contrasting is all by Pixie yarns. It is a micro skein kit that I bought called Havalina, and it was made up of 5 little micro skeins. And yes, I just really wanted to do something special with those, and I feel like there's not a lot of great patterns for it's sort of almost evolving into an Australian accent here, sorry about that. Well, not sorry, I'm not sorry about that. I love Australia and Australians and Australia and everything about down under, although I've never been. I've always wanted to go, but I do love Australian television, like MasterChef Australia is brilliant, for instance. Tangent, rolling it back in. I'm really going off here today. Back to the socks. So I felt like there's not a lot of projects for mini skeins, and except for all of the glorious blankets out there, and I do love those, and I would love to knit one of those, but I don't have that many mini skeins, and the ones I have, I tend to want to do something a little bit more special with those. Not that the blankets aren't, you know, special. It's just yeah, I wasn't really feeling it at the moment. So I decided that I should just create something of my own, and so I did. So my thought was that this would be an excellent project for all of those lovely mini skeins and micro skeins that you got in your stash, maybe some leftover yarns from different projects, maybe you subscribe to one of those glorious advent calendars and have a bunch of minis in your stash. Maybe you're not sure what to do with those. Mini skeins of course make excellent contrasting for heels, toes and cuffs for socks, but you know, maybe you want to do something else with them. So here's an option. So the socks are knit cuff down, and you can adapt these. You can add less colors if you'd like. You can you know, have maybe 2 or 3 maybe these, and then go over to the stockinette in the one color if you'd like. You could maybe alternate just 2 colors or 3 colors if you'd like, you know, just whatever floats your boat, whatever your imagination tells you, whatever gets your creative juices flowing. Go with that, go with what makes you happy. But this is, yeah, this was what made me happy, so this is what I went with. Yes, I'm really happy with these. It's so much fun releasing a new pattern, and I've got so much coming up, you guys. Lately my sock mojo has just been through the roof, and I've got these are coming out on Friday, and I've got 2 other pairs that I'm going to get out for testing hopefully this week. So there will be some socks this spring. It will be a spring of socks. And yes, I'm a big sock knitter. I do love my socks. Yeah, I can't seem to help it. I need to have a pair on the needles most of the time. Also, these glorious, beautiful sock blockers are by the lovely Patricia of Knitography, of course. What else? I think that's about it. I really hope you like them. Yeah, I really hope you do. Alright, Friday, 8th of March. Yes. Alright, I'm having a sip of coffee now. Also, I just really want to give a big thanks to everyone who's knitting my patterns and sharing the pictures. I love seeing the photos of what you're working on, and it makes me so happy. So thank you so much for knitting my patterns. You're really helping me achieve my dreams here, really. So that's, you know, that's quite something, and it truly deserves a big thank you. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. I'm so appreciative of every single one of you. One of the things that I really love is watching when people use quite different colours than what I used when I knit up the design. That's always a lot of fun, because the different colours can really change the way that the design looks, and the way that it comes across, and the impression that you get, and the associations that you get, and if it feels edgy, if it feels romantic, you know, it really changes everything around. For instance, my friend Lily of Nordic Stitches, she knit a pair of my Minerva mitten pattern, and she used these super subtle colours, and they were so beautiful and so elegant, and I just loved them so much. Definitely check her out if you don't know her already. She has a lovely podcast, the Nordic Stitches podcast, and she's a brilliant designer, so she's one to watch. So that was a lot of fun seeing those come into life. And also the lovely Amy of Noble Character Crafts. She is currently working on a pair of Minerva mittens, and she's used a completely different colour scheme. She's got almost this sort of sandy base colour, and the contrasting for the pattern is this incredible bright turquoise tealy colour, and they work so beautifully together, and just it looks like a completely different pair of mittens. And yeah, I love seeing that. They're both her own yarns, both the colourways are her own yarns, Noble Character Crafts. Definitely check out her too. She has a really great podcast and she does the most beautiful, beautiful yarn. Yeah, so that was, yeah, that's been, I really love watching when you post photos of my designs. It feels a little absurd, really, but very humbling and overwhelming, and just, it makes me so happy, so thank you. That went on for a while. Please, yeah, see that as a token of my gratitude and appreciation. I can't stop talking about it. Okay, moving on. Remember last year I was working on something secret for a book project, and it was a lot of fun, but it was a little bit stressful because I was going on holiday, which I know doesn't seem very stressful, but I did not get the yarn in time. So before, or I got the wrong one before I left, so when I got home and I finally had the right yarn, I had very little time to finish my 2 garments that I was knitting for this project. It was a skirt and a coat, and I basically had to knit the coat in like 10 days, something like that, and that was hard. My arms were just aching afterwards. I had to do a lot of stretches, and I really had to ask my sweet lovely fiance Christian to give me massages every day. So that was a bit of a perk, but yeah, though it was not good. It was definitely not good. It was also on a needle size that I don't usually knit with. I usually knit with very small needles, and this was quite a bit of larger needles, so yeah, all in all a bit stressful. But after the garments were done, I went to Oslo, which is the capital of Norway, and we had a little photo shoot with garments, and the book is now out, and I've got it right here. So this is Strikkeline FARGER. It is in Norwegian, and it is a book by a lovely yarn store called Pickles, which is located in Oslo. They also have their own yarn, and they make tons of gorgeous designs. And they teamed up with this lovely lady called Dagny Thurmann-Moe, and she is a bit of a colour expert. So the thought behind this book is basically that this is the only knitting book you'll ever need to be able to build up a wardrobe of really functional and classical knitted garments, and just building an entire wardrobe around the colours that work well for you. And sort of there's a lot of colour theory in the start of this book, which is lovely, teaching you a little bit of what the different colours, what sort of impression it gives, the sort of impression that it makes when you wear a certain colour, what it's associated with, and things like that. And it's really beautiful. And then they talk a little bit about how you can build a colour palette, about main colours and accents and contrasting colours and things like that, and sort of what sort of colours work well with your skin, with your eyes, with your hair, all of these things. It's a really beautiful book. So like I said, I knit a coat and a skirt, and I thought I would show you just quickly if we have Probably should have done this. Okay, so here's one of the photos. This is the coat that I knit. Hopefully you can see that. And let's see if we can't, there's another photo of the coat. Hopefully I'll be able to find a picture of the skirt as well. It is in here, I haven't done my preparations thoroughly. I should have found these beforehand. But, yeah, okay, yeah, here we have a picture of the skirt and the coat. So these were the colours that I was given. This plum for the coat, which is knit out of Pickles tweed and Pickles what is it called? It's a silk mohair. I'm having a bit of a brain freeze at the moment, but it's the silk mohair one. And the skirt is in this rusty colour, which is quite beautiful. And so with, for instance, this skirt, there's a pattern for the skirt, and there's a whole bunch of alterations that you can do in terms of the length and the fit and the structure and the pattern and pockets, no pockets, all of these things. So you can basically adapt it to fit you just the way that you want it. Here's another photo of the skirt up close. And it's a really, really great book, and there's pretty much everything you'll ever need in your wardrobe. There's pants and shorts, and I'm gonna see if I can find the pants because they are so cool. And I'd also really love to make the shorts. Yeah, it's just a really beautiful book. I feel really, really honoured that they wanted me to be a part of it, and it was such a fun experience. It really, really was. Yeah, there's some long trousers. Look at those. How cool are they? And you can see on the front actually, she's got some culottes on. I mean, how cool are those? I'd love to knit me some culottes. Yeah, it's a really fabulous book. I'll link to their website in the show notes, which is in the down bar. But if you are Norwegian, you can basically pick it up in any bookstore. It's pretty much all over the place, and it's been really well received, which is a lot of fun. Yeah, there's so many things in here that I want to make. And speaking of which, there's one pattern in this book that I've been wanting to make for a while, but I haven't gotten around to it. And that is the dress that's in this book. It's the Dagny dress, and you can knit it out of in tons of different ways. There we go, there it is. So this is the dress. I've been wanting to make these, and it's this one, and you can make it in tons of different lengths. You can have flared sleeves or fitted sleeves, or yeah, all the things, all the alterations. And I've wanted to knit this for a while, but I just haven't gotten around to it. But I just finally decided that it was time. So I decided that I wanted to make the shortest one, and one of the reasons that I haven't cast it on previously is because the pattern has been for a quite thick version, but they have now released a thinner version, so that it won't be too heavy and too hot. Although living in Norway, we don't tend to have too much hot weather, but you know, it's fun not to melt away if we happen to get a heat wave at some point. during winter. I guess not. But here's one of the long versions of the dress. It's so pretty. So what I've decided is I'm going to knit the short one because I want to decorate the bottom with these glorious pom-poms. Look at that. Look how cute that is. Now, I spoke to this lovely lady who is the colour expert that I told you about, who is one of the designers as well. The dress is named after her. And I told her that I really wanted to make that dress and I really wanted to make the pom-poms, and she got really excited about it because apparently this dress has actually been out for a few years, but no one apparently, or very few, have actually made the dress with the pom-poms. But I love the pom-poms, so I definitely think that I'm going to do that. I mean, I might change my mind, but at the moment I'm going to show you one more time, because look at that. How cute is that? It's so fun. I love it. I love it. To pom or not to pom? Yes, so what I have done, I have ordered the yarn. I have started knitting it. It is living in my Plystre projects bag. And the yarn I'm using is Pickles Pure Wool, which is 100%, it's 100% wool. And these are 100 gram balls, and that is 380 meters, which is 415 yards. And this is the color that I chose. It's another one of this beautiful plum. And I just, oh, I love this color so much. So I cast it on, and I've actually just gotten to the part where I'm about to split for the sleeves, which is quite exciting. It doesn't show off too well, I guess, because it's sort of ruffled together on a bit short, a cable that's a little bit short. But you get the general idea. It's top down, and yes, I think it's going to be really great. I really like the colour. I think it will look quite good with my hair. It doesn't really show when it's all back, but I think it's going to look good with my colours, hopefully. Also, I have quite a bit of green in my eyes, which I think that this colour will probably bring out a little bit. So I think that all in all, this is going to be a really good staple in my wardrobe. I've never knit myself a dress before, so I guess it was about time. And yes, so I've actually just finished the increases. I'm about to split for the sleeves, and this has been on bed rest for a couple of days, just because I couldn't, when I was sort of in my best mojo with this was last weekend when my sister came to visit, and I got a little bit of work done on this, and I've actually put it aside for a moment because it absolutely just zooms off the needles. And my thought was, I'm casting on this project because it's going to be incredible social knitting for IUF, which is coming up in 3 weeks, you guys, so that I can actually knit and talk to people without being distracted, without making a lot of mistakes, because more than once I have brought some very complicated knitting to social events, and when I look at it the next day, it turns out it is filled with mistakes, and I spend 2 days just fixing the mistakes that I made in one night. So I don't want that. So I cast this on so that I'd had something really simple and easy to work with at IUF. But not IUF, what am I saying? EYF, yeah, sorry. Edinburgh, I'm talking about Edinburgh Yarn Festival, not whatever IUF stands for. Anyways, this seemed to just zoom off, and I was getting a bit worried that if I kept working on this, then I would not have a very easy product to work with in Edinburgh, because this is going to get pretty large and heavy. Maybe not as heavy because I'm using the thinner yarn, but still, I don't want a huge project to carry around. So I put it aside, and I'm going to split sew the sleeves, and then it's just stockinette for days for a while. So I'm going to, yeah, I'm going to wait a little bit to work on this. So I've been working on different projects for the last week, but last weekend this happened. I cast it on Friday evening, and yeah, I basically got to this point by Sunday, I think. Yes. Oh no, that's not true. I also went on, we had a bit of a knit night with some friends, and I knit a little bit on it, but yes. Anyways, that's not important. It is, yeah, it's in the works, it's happening. I think it's going to be great, and I can't wait to have some more done on it. And yes, it's a knitted dress. I mean, come on, it's going to be brilliant no matter what. So excited. I'm knitting it on my Knit Pro carbons. These are the fixed circular ones on the 3mm needle. I've got some of my favourite stitch markers on here, like the little chickie from the Corner of Craft. That's another podcast you need to check out if you haven't already. Look at that little chick. Can we get it to focus, please? Oh, my face is in the way. Show me the chick. There we go. This little beaded chickie by the Corner of Craft, and this lovely Harry Potter charm that's from a homespun house, made by, I think, by Chelsea of Secret Managers. It's the Harry Potter Happy Birthday Harry cake. I love that one so much. This was actually gifted to me by the lovely Ashley, AK Knits. She also has a podcast. It's Chats with Ashley. She's the sweetest. She's one of the sweetest people I know. I absolutely love her. And yes, she gifted this to me in our fiber share a year ago. Yeah, I think it's a year ago now. It's one of my absolute favorite stitch markers. I love it. Thank you, Ashley. Yeah, so that's that one. What else have I got to talk about? I can see that the time is running, so much for a short episode. I do have some shocking news. You don't need to clutch your pulse. It's not very serious. It seems like a big deal to me. Not really to anyone else. So remember my Sipila? I knit the colourwork yoke, and then I knit about 4 inches on the stockinette below, and then I decided that this looks a little bit weird to me, so I put it on 2 really long cabled circulars to try it on, and it did not look good at all. The fit did not work with my body at all. One of the issues is that you cast on a certain number of stitches, and then you increase quite abruptly before the yoke, after the neck, and that can make these sort of waves on the chest and on the back. And so in the back there was short rows for some neck shaping, but because of the increases in front, it basically looked like there were neck shaping all around, and it looked very weird. I know that I've heard that a couple of other people have had this issue with the pattern, and yeah, it's one of those things. But when I tried it on, and it did not feel right. I did not feel like this was a project that I would wear a lot when it was finished. And so after some pretty intense minutes of me just racing in my mind back and forth, I decided to put it down. I ripped out the needles and I started frogging it. I know, it's so sad, but also I wasn't entirely certain about the colours and the way that they played together, and I mean, I had sort of gotten on board with it, and I think that I would actually really like the colours once it would knit up, and I would wear it a lot if it was just the colours that were, you know, making me uncertain, but it really wasn't. It was, at that point, it was also the fit of the entire thing, and it was just not a good shape for me. It did not work at all, so I decided to stop. I ripped it back, and I will use the yarn for something else, because I really love that yarn, and I wanted it to be something special and something that I would wear. So that was a little bit sad. I was planning on that Sipila being sort of my EYF jumper, but that's not going to happen anymore. But what I actually did was I started ripping up and frogging back and frogging back and frogging back like this, and when I got to the colourwork yoke, I actually just stopped and I just put it down because I couldn't bring myself to rip up all of that gorgeous colourwork that I spent so much time working on, because it's not an intuitive pattern at all. You need to watch the chart at all times, so it's a lot of work. And yeah, so I just put it down. There's no needles in it. It's just laying there waiting to be unraveled, really. So I should really just frog the entire thing, so, because now I'm just sort of chickening out, and I'm not going to knit it. It has been frogged. There's no needles in it. It's going to tear up at any moment. If I move it, it's going to, you know, unravel. So yeah, it's just silly to leave it, but I just couldn't bring myself to do it. You know, I had to do it with baby steps. That's what I needed. So that's what I've done. I'm going to rip it all up, but for now it's just laying there looking really sad. So yeah, sorry for the tale of woe. That was the final knitting thing I was going to talk about, so that feels like I ended on a downer. So let's bring it up again and talk about Edinburgh Yarn Festival. It's only 3 weeks away. Are you going? Are you going? Have you been before? How was it? Tell me everything. I want to know. Please leave a comment. This is my first time going. I am over the moon, exceptionally excited. I cannot wait. I'm staying with the lovely ladies of Yarn Cafe Creations, and I'm so excited to be able to meet all of these wonderful people that I feel like are my friends, but I've never met in person, so I'm very, very happy about that. And I will get in on the Thursday and head home on the Sunday, and if I could, I would have probably gotten in on the Wednesday, because I mean, I would love to have an extra day in Edinburgh and maybe, do some sightseeing. I'm not sure if there's going to be that much time for sightseeing this time, but that's a good excuse to go back next year. Also, getting to Edinburgh from where I live is really easy. It's not really that far. It's just a quick plane ride, and there's a lot of departures. So it wasn't really that difficult. So I'm so grateful to be able to go, and so happy to be going. And I'm going to have a meet and greet. This year it's not going to be the podcast lounge that they've had previously, but there's going to be different meet and greets for the different podcasters that are going. So I will have a podcast meet and greet. It will be on the Friday at 10:45. That's 10:45 in the morning, and I'd really love to meet you. And please come and say hi if you're going. Get a hug, knit with me, ask me for a bad joke. I don't know any jokes, sorry about that. That could be really awkward if people come up and ask me for a joke now, because I don't really know any. But anyways, bad jokes, no jokes, please stop by. And I'd really love to meet you. So write it down. It's on the Friday at 10:45. I don't know the exact locations, but there will be some sort of podcaster lounge place, just not the way that it's been before. So I will get back to you with more on that, but write it down. Friday 10:45, Salapaloosa Knits podcast meetup. Yeah, come see me. Come see me. Alright, on to the blabber. As I'm sure you can imagine, when I'm not at work and not knitting, there's a lot of wedding things going on. Just a lot of wedding plans and planning, and it's quite overwhelming actually. It's a lot of fun, but still, planning a wedding in this short of a time, it's a little bit stressful, but mainly because I'm a very detail-oriented person. So it's very easy for me to get sort of what's the word? Almost like encapsulated in like all of the details that needs to get worked out, and yeah. And also I'm a little bit of a perfectionist. Not too bad. I'm not going to say that I am a perfectionist, but I do like things to be a certain way, and yeah, so I need to just take it easy and just try to relax and enjoy this. And now all of those things, they don't, it doesn't really matter. When push comes to shove, it doesn't really matter. So I'm just trying to, don't stress too much with it. Just let the whole thing be a bit of an organic process, and yeah, just have a little bit of fun with it, because there is a lot of things to worry about and think about, and it could get really stressful if you don't take care of yourself. And yeah, and I'm really doing all of the planning myself, so that's yeah, it's a job. But I do like it. I'm a big planner. I love planning, so all in all it's mostly fun. So I'm really happy with how everything is going so far. The invites are ready, they've gone out, the photographer is in place. That was pretty difficult to get a photographer actually in this short time, because apparently most people book their photographers a year and a half in advance, and I got some kind of sassy answers from a couple of the photographers that I talked to, saying that no, of course I'm not available, and for your information, most people book their photographers a year and a half in advance. So that was a bit of a downer, but there was this one photographer that I wanted so dearly. I just loved the way that she expresses herself through photography, and it turns out she really wanted to do it. So we have our photographer. That's really exciting. She's going to be with us all day from morning to evening, so that we can just relax, and all of our guests can just relax and not have to worry about taking photos and things like that. So that's going to be great. I bought my dress. I might have said that last episode, but I got my dress, and yeah, that too was a bit of an issue, because since we're getting married in June, the salons were a little bit, they didn't give me, I'm not going to say they gave me shade, but they were, they did love to sort of sneak it in there that, you know, they do want about 6 months to get the dress, and this is definitely an issue, and you know, hope it's going to work out and all of that, but clearly they can make it happen. So they had to do it in a rush order, but it wasn't an issue really. So that's in place, that's great. I ended up with a dress that was very different than what I had first envisioned. I couldn't seem to find, or the dress that I wanted, I couldn't seem to find something that really encapsulated that, or my idea of what I wanted. And then I had this sort of plan B that, okay, if I can't find that sort of dress, I want this kind of dress, and that's what I ended up with. So that was a bit of a change of plans, but I'm really happy with my dress. My shoes are in place. I'm also really excited about them. I can't wait to wear them. There's sort of this vintage Downton Abbey style leather, like white leather shoes, but they are decorated with Swarovski crystal in this sort of Art Deco pattern, and yeah, I really love them, and they're like the softest leather I've ever tried on. And I tried them on because I thought that I'll need to get used to wearing them before the big day, but there was really no need. They are so soft, and I'm really glad, because that's going to be a long day for my feet. And currently I'm just working on getting all of the decorations sorted and the flowers and things like that. And actually right after Edinburgh, just on the Monday, I get home like late Sunday evening. I'm just going to repack and have a quick sleep, and then I'll be heading to Oslo on the Monday, because we are going to work out the wedding menu and have a tasting at the venue, and have like another tour of the place, and just yeah, make some final plans. And I think that's going to be a really great transition from Edinburgh, so that I can maybe avoid some of that going home from Edinburgh blues. Yeah, I think it's going to be great. Okay, enough rambling. If you have had absolutely no interest in listening to me talk about wedding planning, I hope you shut this down. If not, I'm sorry. I'm going to end this now, and I'll talk to you guys next week. That's the tentative plan. Hopefully that will work out. And if you enjoyed the episode, please press the thumbs up and subscribe and tell your friends, and yes, I hope you have a really wonderful week. Please feel free to follow me on Instagram at Salapaloosa Knits for some updates on what I'm working on. I post there every day, and write down the podcaster meet and greet on the Friday at 10:45, and the Pleading Love socks coming out on Friday, this Friday the 8th. Alrighty, hope you have a lovely day and a lovely week, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye!